Oh, there it goes. Okay. Might want to not turning off. My microphone has a mute button, and it's not very obvious if it's pushed. Is that better? Oh, there's people here already. Um, is there sound? Can you hear me, or do I have to restart this? Okay. All right. That is a great production quality right there. So today's topic, I was going to cover. I'm not I don't know why you'd have a credit card channel. Kind of an odd thing. So I'm not trying to demonize anything. Like everything is about choices and responsibility with investing and finance. So this is something I would recommend to anybody that was like starting out. I've had credit cards since I was like 18, basically. Um, I've pretty much had the same 5 or 6 credit cards almost all that time for the most part. So I think I know a thing or two about credit cards. So at I would recommend 2 cards for probably everybody. Mostly for US. I don't If you don't live in the US, I don't know if you can get these cards. Maybe you can. So let's go to. Oh, I don't like that view. I like that view better. Okay. So this is kind of a card I would recommend really to anybody. So this is the American Express Blue everyday cash everyday card. So what I would tell people with this card, this is what you should use for literally just gas and groceries. So these are expenses you have every month, recurring expenses. You know, you pay these every month, right? So this card will give you 3% cash back on those purchases that you're going to make every month. And it's not luxury. We're not talking about luxury purchases or anything crazy. So we're talking about the grocery store and your gas. Um, technically you can also use it for like going out, restaurants, but you should probably be careful how much you go out to restaurants. But in general, this is going to give you, if you pay it off at the end of every month, you're going to get 3% back on groceries, 3% on gas. So these are just recurring expenses that you have in your life every month. This card, you get cash back as a credit on your statement. So it's pretty automatic. You just get back that credit. So the key with this is you have to pay it off at the end of the month. If you don't pay it off at the end of the month, then you're defeating the whole purpose of having a card like this in the first place. So before you apply, you'd want to look at the terms and disclosures here. So you can see like this is not a card to carry a balance. So it has perks, but if you mess up and you start carrying a balance on this thing, I mean, you messed up. So you can see like the APR on this thing is very high. So this is a card just put your every month recurring expenses that you budget and you pay every month, and then you will get 3% back for the whole year. So just think of that year after year. I've been doing this with a different card I'll show you, but just imagine doing this over 5-10 years, right? So it's a decent amount of money that you're going to save. Um, so obviously you don't want to cash advance. I mean, you shouldn't be doing cash advance on credit cards, should you? I think you all know that. You're going to pay 30%. So thing check, there's no annual fee on this card. You want to check also. So these point cashback cards have limits. The ones especially with no annual fee, they're going to have like limits to how much you get in points and cash back. There's an upper limit to all of them. If you have an annual fee, chances are it's a higher threshold. So you can go down to the terms. This card, when you set it up initially, they have some bonus features. You get a $150 credit statement, and then there's some other things you can do to get from the start some benefits. So read through the terms and conditions before you apply. I think it's a good idea for anyone to get a card like this. I've been doing this for a long time, probably over 10-15 years. I have a specific American Express card, and I put gas, groceries, and then like I go to restaurants once or twice a month on it. I generate, I looked, I get about $50 to $70 a month in cash from that activity. And this is just recurring activity. I mean, every month. So month after month, every year, I get $50, $70 back. I opted for this one. So the one I showed you, that's through American Express themselves. I don't think a lot of banks offer American Express cards anymore. It might be because they're very high fees. So this is the one I use. Well, okay, I'll look through comments before we start this one. Yeah, I'm a clown. I didn't have sound. Okay. Dave Ramsey's gonna hate this stream. Like, yeah, I'm not a Dave Ramsey guy. I've got, yeah. I think debt is a great asset to Americans and people, and if you know how to use it responsibly, debt's an amazing tool to you. I got news for you. The rich have lots of debt. Like someone like Elon Musk uses lots of debt all the time. So let's see. Yeah. So I made you a moderator, Bacon. So use use your powers responsibly. Um, you got the mod cloud. Oh, you're talking to him. Exact card. Oh, cool. So you know the deal, Joe. Uh, yeah, 3%. Oh, definitely. Especially, depending on what kind of car you have. So this is the card I have. Obviously, if you're not from the military and you can't get it, I'm sorry. But this is the card I use. So I get points. I like points more than cash back because I've found over time a lot of the cash back cards um like mandatorily give you like the cash back every month or annually in one lump sum, so you don't have control over how they give you that cash back, which I never liked. I like the points. So what do I do with the points? I just do cash back. I mean, but what's nice about a points card is that it gives you the option to like accrue points if you want. Maybe you don't need the cash back. I've let my cash back run up to like $300-400 for a special event or something I wanted to buy. So I've done that before. So this just gives me optionality. I like it. I don't pay an annual fee. They have a cash back card and they have a points card. USAA's version of, so it's basically the blue card under USAA's banner. So I think it's a great card. They have now they have two other options that are similar. So they have a blue preferred card. So this one gives you double the points or double the percentage, 6% cash back on groceries. And then I guess you put your streaming charges on it, stuff like that. And there's some other gas, still 3%. So this one, the big one with this, if you are a giant family, I don't know, if you're like 5, 6, I don't know, maybe you have you're like the octomom. Do you have like 8 kids? If you have a lot of kids, you're shopping at Costco all the time. This might be a good card for you, even though it's a $95 fee. If you spend a lot of money on groceries, this card might be worth it. It's pretty similar to the one I showed you before. Um, so that's an option. They have a points card like I use. This is similar to what my card is with USAA. Basically, this is the same as my card: 3x gas, 2x groceries on points. But this card, they charge an annual fee under the Amex banner. So I wouldn't pay to have points over cash back, honestly. But these are the three that I think are good options for people. Something to consider. Like I said, these cards, what you'll find is cards that have really good rewards also have really high APRs. So they're hoping that you are irresponsible with your card so that they can nail you on friggin' carrying a balance. Um, so just be responsible with it. Be very like literally all I put, it's gas, groceries, and like pharmacy, I think, purchases. That's all me and my wife put on our Amex card. We have other card for like Amazon or so forth. All right. Let's see. Good card use. Okay, now, man, you're nailing my segue. So the other card. So I recommend 3 card. You have like an everyday use card for just all sorts of random things in your life. Then you have an American Express that's used for gas and groceries and restaurant, and that's it. The third card I would recommend you have is a emergency card. It's exactly what it sounds like. I still think you should have 6 months of emergency funds, but you should also, on top of that, have an emergency card. I think just for the added comfort of that you can withstand something terrible that happens in your life. If you own a house, my dishwasher just broke 2 weeks ago. So that was an unexpected charge of about $1,000 to replace it. Or your car breaks. So you need to, stress is what's going to kill you in life more than anything. So let's relieve things that happen in your life that are stressful. Um, so for an emergency card, I would recommend, if you're in the US, I don't know if this works in other parts of the world, find a credit union near you. This is a credit union near me. They usually have really low interest options. So they'll have like a rewards card, and then they'll probably have a low interest rate card. So like this is a credit union I use. So here's a reward card. That's not that different than the one we just talked about, the blue Amex. But then this is the one I would look at, is the lowest rate. So you can find cards like this online. It's the lowest rate possible. There's no perks though. So that's the idea of it. It's just a low end APR card. You don't get any perks. It's an emergency card. Why do you need perks? You don't. So this is like a card you just put away for like something that happens in your life that's like bad, really bad event. And then I think you'll be all set. 3 cards. And then basically just every like 2 years, ask for an increase in your credit limit, which is what I've done. So every 2 years or so, I call and ask for an increase in my credit limit. And there you go. And I started with credit cards at like $1,000 limit. And 20 years later, they're a lot more than $1,000 credit limit now. So I've built up that trust with my banks and credit unions I work with. So you don't need to have like 10 cards. You could have 3 to 5 cards your whole life, and then they'll increase your credit line as you go longer with them. So that's what I would recommend. One other thing to note, you need to put they will cancel your cards if they're inactive. They all have different rules. I think if you don't do anything with it within like 2 years, roughly, they will cancel your card. So, like any credit card you carry, if you want to keep them long term, just make sure you put something on it every year. So, like when you get to January, I don't know, like put your gas, I don't know, fill your tank up on each credit card that you don't use on a regular basis, and then just pay it off, and then you're good to go. So you keep building that credit, because if they close it, I don't know if they can reactivate the account, and then you might lose that, a credit card you've had for 15 years, and that disappears. So that's all I had for now. Unless there's any questions. Let's see. Ryu. I can make Julius a mod now. I got a comment from him. I try to save cash back as sort of emergency savings before I use an actual emergency fund. The only thing I would be make sure, I don't think I've held points for more than maybe 6 months to a year. Make sure that there's no expiration on your points or cash back or limits to it if you're going to hoard them like long term. It's just a thought. Pulling a Paul. Only got one credit card at Mac. I've got I have like 8 credit cards. I really only honestly use like 3, but I think I'm pretty good at like 8. I don't think I'm going to go any further than that. So I'm just going to maintain those, and off I go. I like having I have like a Barclays card. It's kind of cool looking. It's got like a hologram on it. Whatever. But he refuses to raise it. Yeah, well, I guess you don't want to live the Paul Goblin life of having credit cards as your emergency fund. But yeah, so that's the big thing I wanted to cover. And credit is not evil. It's just a matter of how you use it. If you want to see people that don't know how to use credit cards, you can go to was it Caleb Hammer's streams, and you can see some people that are really terrible with credit card debt. But it's a tool like anything else in life, and I like to have tools in life. So I like to have credit cards that have large credit lines. I like to have margin accounts with my brokerage and home equity lines with houses. So I have options in life, which is what I always like to have. Now, well, typical, yeah, yeah. It's nice to have too, because you bill, all of a sudden you have like $200 of credit points, and it's nice. And then maybe you have like your groceries are free for the week or something like that. So, all right. Well, other than that, I want everyone have a great day. enjoy Memorial weekend, and we will see you later. Right? Bye.